Good evening, Fire Wrench Garage fans. Phil here. Just wanted to give a quick update. Finally got all of the parts and pieces painted and top coated. Everything turned out really sharp. That beautiful John Deere Liquifire paint almost looks black from afar, but you can see all that nice metallics in there. Sorry for the lights. Beautiful metallics that just really shine nice. So this obviously is the hood, which is, of course, that's the part that everybody sees. It's got a little dust on it here and there. It turned out freaking just amazing. Just beautiful. And then we've got, so the tunnel itself, which like I said on previous videos, is a new old stock tunnel that I went down and picked up in Colorado almost a year ago, honestly. These restorations take quite a bit of time, especially one like this one. So this one in particular, I stripped every single nut and bolt and part and piece off of this thing and completely I sandblasted all the parts that could be sandblasted. I replaced all the nuts and bolts that were rusty with either stainless steel or grade 8, depending on where they are on the machine. Replaced a lot of the internals on the engine, especially, of course, the engine seals, which that's pretty much just a given. Did a complete carb rebuild kit, so everything on the inside of that is brand new. And new piston rings. Checked everything on the inside. Everything was pretty nice. Replaced the reeds on the engine. Replaced the brakes. Brand new chain on the inside. The gears were good. Put secondary springs in. You can see the brand new spring in there. The blue one. And then you can see all the brand new hardware. All that gold stuff is grade 8, so we don't have to worry about that breaking. The other spots, I used a grade 5. And all these silver pieces you see, they're aluminum, but once you sandblast it, it kind of makes them really dull. So I used a cast aluminum paint and painted all of those parts. It does have ceramic in the paint, so it's going to be good for heat and for liquids and things like that. They should last for a very long time. And then the skis, of course, are the polymer skis that we got from Busco Bullet, and then brand new shocks to go on those. Really nice to start seeing the sled come together. I got the louvers. The console, of course, gets put in place with the gauges and key and choke areas up there. That all gets put in place. Radiators are in. They're not plumbed. Our clutch, I went completely through that, cleaned everything. I'm going to put a brand new spring in that primary. This is a 102 Comet. And then the cover I sandblasted and painted with that same cast aluminum paint. Mud flap, we talked about that in one of the previous videos. One that I had here on hand that's actually still good. It's not original to the sled, but it's better than what it came with. But this tunnel, like I was saying, is a new old stock that I picked up. It does come pre-painted from the factory, but as you can imagine with a, well, let's see, a 46-year-old tunnel that's been tossed around in a box and moved from place to place, it's going to have some scuff marks on it and show some wear. And that original factory paint is not very thick. I mean, it's pretty thin, so it wears out quick. So I was able to, actually, the gentleman that I bought this tunnel from had bought a quart of paint. So the original paint that these were painted in, this is the 77 Liquifires, and I'm sure that there's others that get painted with this as well. But this is a line coat paint, Supreme Plus base coat, and then you put your top coat on there. But this is the John Deere Midnight Mist base coat, and then you do your clears over the top. So what I do, I actually color coded the bumper for it as well. And then I'll put the reflective tape in the center like OE. So what I do when I paint, especially when it comes from raw, I'll do 2 coats. First off, fill any imperfections. This one I actually was able to sand down nice and smooth. But I'll put 2 coats of primer, let that dry, sand it down, make sure it's really nice and smooth. Then I'll hit it with 3 base coats, making sure to hit it all different angles, especially with these metallics. If you don't do it, you get weird looks, we'll say, from that, because you can tell which way you shot the metallics on. So 3 coats of base coat, and then I usually do 4 clear, and then after everything is all dry, I will wet sand it down again, and then buff it down if it, to get that shine back. And there's plenty of clear on it, so that thing looks it looks like brand new when you get done. But just wanted to kind of give you a quick update. It's hard to shoot video when I'm spraying. My ventilation here is not as good as I would really like it, so it gets a little cloudy in here and it's really hard to see what I'm doing. But just wanted to kind of show what I've been doing this evening. This is all wet coated, so gonna turn the heat up because it's really cold up here in Minnesota. Last night it got down to negative 18 Fahrenheit where I live, and then plus wind chill. But tomorrow's supposed to be really nice, near 40. Minnesota weather, if you can believe it or not. Kind of crazy, but then we should. But gonna turn the heater up, get this paint cured out so I can get it wet sanded again, and then I may even, once I wet sand it, I might even shoot another coat of clear on it, depending on what it looks like. I'll run a gauge on it to see what it actually coated out as. But just kind of wanted to show you the sled. It looks so nice. It's like brand new. It's a vintage brand new, obviously. It doesn't have all the suspension like the new ones have. But just a cool old sled. I just love restoring these things and bringing them back from somebody's back 40 or sitting out next to the barn, cleaning them up and putting in new parts and making them shine again. And whoever's going to enjoy this sled once it's done, this is actually for a client, he's going to have a lot of years of enjoyment because everything is brand new. Everything is brand new. Paint, engine. The only thing that's not brand new on here, which is almost impossible to source, is the track. But the track is in really good shape. It is a steel cleated track. That's what they all come with, unfortunately. But it's in really good shape. It's not dry rotted. And all the parts underneath here are new. New Hyfax, new shocks, springs. Well, they're not brand new springs, but better than the ones that were in there. New bearings. I mean, this thing's going to be a ripper. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, like I said, I just want to give a quick update on this thing. I try to do it. When I first started my channel, I was doing longer videos, and not a lot of people were watching them just because they were so long. So I've kind of learned that if you do about 10 minutes or so, more people watch the whole thing. So just wanted to give a quick update. This thing looks pretty mint, And I'll be shooting another video here soon just to show the progress. So have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next time.